He read at least 5 books every week and wrote nearly 60 on a dizzying array of subjects. He enjoyed hunting, boxing, and wrestling. He was an amateur taxidermist, botanist, ornithologist, and astronomer. He was a devoted family man who lovingly raised 5 children. He enjoyed a lifelong romance with his wife, and as a committed Christian, he often taught a Sunday school class in his local Dutch Reformed church. After the two men had met, Lodge and Roosevelt spent as much time together as their busy careers allowed. They often walked together through Rock Creek Park. They enjoyed gathering their families together for dinners. They joined each other for vacations, either at Roosevelt's home on Long Island or Lodge's on Cape Cod. According to Roosevelt's wife Edith, the two men were like brothers. She said that they talked up a blue streak and often lost themselves in the deep canyons of their wild, intellectual pursuits. Roosevelt's son Kermit, who accompanied his father on 2 dangerous year-long expeditions to the heart of Africa and along the unexplored Amazon, commented that Lodge knew his father better than anyone alive, save Mother. At some deep level, they were soulmates. Father would have assuredly accomplished much in his life, but perhaps the senator magnified and multiplied those accomplishments through his camaraderie, accountability, and encouragement. In later years, the two men collaborated on innumerable campaigns, legislative programs, and international initiatives. But in 1895, just a few years after they met, they co-wrote a collection of historical profiles and vignettes, hero tales of American history. It was their favorite project and remains so throughout their lives. Reading it today reveals much about the strength that both men drew from their relationship. Ted, the firstborn of Roosevelt's brood, asserted, "That book not only provides portraits of a fistful of American heroes, it portrays the way a collaborative friendship can shape the destiny of a nation." The book project had been suggested by Edith after hearing the two men trade favorite stories over the dinner table one evening. The men took up her challenge with glee. Throughout 1894 and the first few months of 1895, Lodge wrote 12 profiles, and Roosevelt wrote 14. Several were originally published in the St. Nicholas Literary Magazine, but most were composed specially for this volume. The men had gradually become convinced that most modern social and political agendas, which were more often than not ferociously alien to the founding principles of the West, generally demanded a radical and revisionist perspective of history. Thus it seemed to them that modern historians tended to manipulate the past in an effort to similarly manipulate the future. So as an antidote to that kind of dastardly divine despotism, Lodge and Roosevelt advocated a straightforward, back-to-basics, and shirt-sleeves approach to academic and cultural integrity. To strip away the layers of historical waffling and garbling that had begun to veil or even bury the truth. Thus Lodge asserted, "Near all the historical work worth doing at the present moment in the English language is the work of shoveling off heaps of rubbish inherited from the immediate past." As popular chronicles, that is precisely the kind of work that they attempted to do. It was indeed worthwhile. In fact, hero tales ultimately set a precedent for an entirely new kind of historical commentary that dominated progressive writing for more than a half a century. Along with G.K. Chesterton, Hilaire Belloc, Maurice Baring, Jacob Riisa, Francis Parkman, and Thomas Macaulay, all practitioners of that kind of objective historical writing, Lodge and Roosevelt helped snap the spell of smothering modernity with a sane backward glance at the great Christian ecology that gave flower to the remarkable liberty, justice, and hope enjoyed by the democracies of the West. Instead of writing original history, after the fashion of eyewitnesses like Herodotus, Thucydides, or Geoffrey Villehardouin,